Hey, how is everybody doing? It is so good to see everybody up here. Welcome to the Masterclass tonight. And man, we have people from all over. We've got people coming in from Michigan, from Zurich, from Auckland, New Zealand. We have people from all over. And as I put in there, I'm from the new frozen tundra of Houston, Texas. We have a freeze going on, so we got below zero. It was wild. The new place to do polar plunges, I'll tell you. I had to go out and get in the pool for the freeze. It was like, don't get to do this very often. Michigan, we got Boston. Welcome everybody, and we're going to get this party started. And I want to welcome again everybody to this Ultimate List Building Blueprint Masterclass. And I'm sure people will be getting in here in a few minutes. But we've got Connecticut here. We've got Pam. Welcome. I'll try to keep an eye on the chat as I can. I normally zone out and miss some things on there. But if you have any questions during this masterclass at the end, we will be doing a Q&A. So if you have any questions, I'm more than happy to stick around and answer questions for you as well. But again, welcome to the masterclass. And there's so many people on here that the last couple of days has been just amazing. So seeing people from the community. Seeing people from past stuff. It's just amazing to have people in here. And, we've got people in here. We've got Andrew Manzano in here. He's a partner of mine. He's doing everything. So have you ever heard of, John Maxwell? They record at his studio. That's actually where we did most of our recordings at John Maxwell's studio. So welcome, Andrew on here. He's a great asset. And, I might be a little, biased, but, I think you made a brilliant decision showing up today because, what we're going to learn in the next 60 minutes can really transform your business and how you do things. And I'm telling you, if you've ever felt like no matter how amazing your product is, how amazing your service is, how amazing your message is that you're just shouting into the void, again, maybe you've tried doing social media, you've tried posting, you've tried doing that, doing that whole algorithm on posting. But again, you're at the mercy of the social platforms. Maybe you're like me and you've sunk a ton of money into paid ads that didn't produce consistent or any results at all. But what I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to pull back the curtains on the method that I use to basically run my company. This is how I do what I do. I don't normally teach this stuff, but I do what I do. This is how I grew my email list up to right now we're above 180,000 engaged subscribers. And this is how I do it. This is how I've done what I've done. And I've built that, it's given me the ability to run and have consistent revenue. It's helped me build, which I didn't even think of when I was building my list, but incredible authority in my industry for myself, and all without losing my shirt on expensive campaigns again and really trying to fight with social media and all that. So it's been a much bigger than I ever thought possible when I started to build my list, and which is why I'm teaching it now. So if you are ready to learn how to build an email community of raving fans that trust you, that are excited to hear from you, that are excited to buy from you month after month, stick with me, because by the end of this, my hope is that you will have the exact roadmap of what I did. You'll have the exact blueprint of what I do every single day. And, you'll be able to at least move forward and start your journey for list building. And again, if you have any questions for people that are just getting in, if you have any questions at the end of this hour, I will stick around for however long you want, answer questions for you. And if you want to find out ways you can work with me further, deeper, that's fine as well. We'll do that at the very end, if that's okay. I've got some pop-up. Let me just take care of these real quick. And all right. So we are back. Okay. So I'm going to move to split screen right here. So we are good to go. So here's the one thing that I want you to understand more than anything else. This is what out of all this is what I want you to get. If you master list building, you will never be at the mercy of chasing customers, fighting algorithms, or struggling to grow your business. I'm telling you, if you master this one skill, if you do this one thing, building and nurturing your email community, you will never be at the mercy of social media algorithms. Their bans, they're disappearing, they're skyrocketing ad costs. You will never be at the mercy of the social media platforms. And the first thing that I teach any business or brand is to build your email list of potential clients and engage with them on a regular basis. You have to engage with them. The most valuable asset in your business will be your list of customers and leads. And here's a quote from Alex Ramosi from his book, 100 Million Leads. He says, having a lot of leads makes it hard to be poor. And that is so true. If you had unlimited leads, it'd be hard to be poor, right? Well, I would like to take that a step further. I think we can take that further. I think we can dig down further, because I think having a lot of engaged, raving leads makes it impossible to be poor. If you had an unlimited source of leads or raving that liked what you said, that know, liked, and trust you, it is impossible, right? So that's what we're going to teach. And that is what your engaged list is. That is exactly what a list is. It's your warm, raving lead. And, you're going to hear this through here. You've probably heard before, but the money is in the list. And that is really the secret, is the money is in the list. That is where the revenue comes from. So we're going to dive into that. So who is this masterclass for? Who did I design this masterclass for? Well, I designed it for entrepreneurs and business owners who want a practical, scalable way to grow an email list that reliably generates revenue. For coaches, creators, and experts who are eager to build a raving community of potential clients who trust your expertise. If you're a coach, you want to have people on your list that trust what you're doing, that trust your expertise in whatever it is that you're coaching, right? I also wrote this for action takers committed to serving their audience. And I say that serving their audience, who are ready to implement proven strategies to consistently see real results for their clients. And also people looking to pivot from just paid ads alone for their marketing, who want a sustainable list building system that doesn't depend on social media, that doesn't depend on our algorithms, that doesn't depend on the ad cost, that basically they do it themselves, and you become your own platform in essence. So if you're trying to move your marketing stuff away from social media, this masterclass is built specifically for you. Okay. And who is this not for? There's people who this is absolutely not. No hard feelings. If it's not for you, that is fine. But it is not for people looking to get rich quick. It is not a get rich quick solution. If you're wanting to, do that, this is not for you. This is not a get rich thing. People that are unwilling to engage and provide real value. We're talking about how we can actually build relationship with our list and provide value to our list. Anybody that's not interested in ethical relationship-based, and again, what we're talking about is relationship-based marketing. And if you prefer spammy tactics, more power to you. But that's just not me. And that's not what this masterclass is about. And then also folks who won't follow a step-by-step plan. I know people who are very smart, but they refuse to follow a step-by-step. And I'm telling you, I will give you tonight a step-by-step blueprint, a step-by-step plan, that if you follow, you will absolutely be able to grow your list. Fair enough? Is that good? So everyone in agreement on that? So if this is for you, fantastic, stick around. If it's not, by all means, no hard feelings. But again, this is not for everybody. This is for people who are really wanting to build a relationship with their potential customers. Okay. Now stick around to the end, because I'm going to give you one of my custom AI prompts. And this is a very, very powerful prompt. It's a customer avatar generator AI prompt. And this will save you, I'm telling you, this will save you a ton of time and money on your list building and your marketing, marketing in general. So I specifically put this in for list building, but if you're just using it for marketing, it alone will help you in your marketing as well. I wish I had this a lot longer. Now, the first thing I'm going to teach you when we get into the list building steps, the first thing I'm going to do, first thing we go over is you have to know exactly who your potential buyer is. That would be buying your products, right? If you're going to build your list, you want to build it with people who would actually buy your product, would actually buy the service or resonate with what you're doing. And this avatar that you're selling to now might not be the one that you actually need to sell to. That's one of the things that I work with people. It's like they'll say, here's my avatar. We run this against it. And they're like, this is why your sales aren't good. You're actually marketing to the completely wrong person, the wrong group of what the people who are actually buying the service that you are selling. And so you might be adding Joe's to your list, but you need to add Sue's to your list, right? That's who's buying it. And all of this is based on AI's knowledge. It's a real simple thing. You put in your URL to like either a product of yours or your website in general. If you don't have anything yet, you can put it to a competitor's website. Like, for instance, I do a lot of mindset coaching. That's my core business, is mindset and performance coaching. If I didn't have anything, I could actually point this to, let's say, Tony Robbins' website, and I can get back his exact customer avatar. So I know his customers are pretty much my customers, right? So that whatever he's doing, they're going to be in alignment with what. So you can actually put this against someone else's. Again, you're just trying to have a laser focus on who it is that you want to put on your list. So I've got this prompt. I'll put the link towards the end of this masterclass, so you can actually download it. I recommend you use it, again, whether it's for marketing, for list building. It's a wonderful thing to have. Here's just kind of an example of it. So you point it to where you want it to go look and look at the data. And what I want you to look at is, I think it's towards the end. You can't really see it on here, but this will build out some very important things for you to build your list. So it's going to tell you what the challenges are of your potential clients. It's going to tell you what their pain points are. It's going to tell you what they need to hear from you in order to say yes to what you are selling and what you're doing. It'll have their social media groups that they hang out in, and also the type of Meta and LinkedIn ad audiences. If you run ads, those ad audiences where that potential customer, that customer avatar will hang out. So again, it's an extremely powerful AI prompt. So stick around. We will get that. This is my ethical bribe to get you to stick around to the end, because I want you to learn. So this is the ethical bribe to get you to listen to, to learn this framework and learn this blueprint. Okay. So in the next 60 minutes, my goal is for you to understand this proven step-by-step blueprint for building an engaged email list of subscribers actually will turn into paying customers. That's the whole goal of this, right? Is for your customers to resonate, to add value, but then also for them to become a customer of yours, chasing those social media algorithms without paying those huge prices. So you can push forward in whatever it is you're passionate about. Everybody on here is passionate about something. Everybody on here has a gift of something, and you're all trying to push forward your gift, your passion, what you're doing, and push that forward into the world. And you're going to learn 3 critical things, secrets, you can call them whatever you want, but 3 critical things that you must know in order to attract the right people, keep them engaged, and monetize your list repeatedly. There's more than that, but they're the 3 biggest ones we're going to cover tonight. So you might be asking, Sean, why you? Why Sean? Why should I listen to what Sean has to say? Well, for the past 6 years, I have spent well over $100,000, multiple, learning everything I can about running my business, not just for marketing, not just for this, learning everything I can about making my business, making sure that it is a good business, that's solid, it makes money. So marketing, I've done in courses and mastermind groups that I'm in blood, sweat, and tears over the past 6 to 8 years. And I did all this not to teach this. This was never my intent to teach any of this. I didn't set out to say, hey, I want to teach list building, right? I used this. The reason I did it was to use it to drive my company, to drive the message that I wanted to send to the world, to pay it forward for what I'm passionate about. I have been so blessed, and it truly hurts me to see when people struggle because they don't think they belong, or they don't think they deserve something that they want, that they desire, and they don't think that they are able to get it. For me, by the age of 15, I was living on my own. I was living in the streets. By 17, I had my son, and as you can imagine, at that age, living in the streets, uneducated, you get the feeling that you don't deserve stuff, right? So that's why I'm passionate about and that's what I teach. And I will forever teach personal development and learning to get ahead and learning to push forward. And the thing is, by the time I was 30, I took my first company public by the time I was 30. So from 15, being on the streets to taking a company public at 30. And here's the thing. For years after that, I felt like an imposter. Like I didn't deserve that. I was just sheer luck. I was in the right place at the right time, whatever you want. And, I thought that what I did, again, was luck. I didn't deserve it. And what I learned was, over the course of getting into personal development and doing that what I did was not luck. What I did was by design. What I did, I could do it again and again, right? And if a 9th grade dropout living in the streets can do something and change things, anybody can. Absolutely can. And that is why I will never shut up. That's why I do my personal development coaching. That's why I do my my mental performance coaching is because of that. And I tell you this because that's my mission, is to help people get past their own BS, their own belief systems. So I built, again, what I'm doing tonight, I built that as a way to run my performance coaching company. Like what I do, what I'm teaching tonight is literally how I run my performance coaching company. From the marketing standpoint, from getting in customers, from launching, launching courses. I'm teaching you the back end of what I do, as a way to pay it forward and to really, I get so many people that ask me to help them do that. So again, what you're learning tonight is exactly what I do to help sell, the stuff in my company. And it's all started about 18 months ago. I had so many people come to me and ask me from my mastermind groups, from people that I coach. It's like, okay, that's great, but I want you to teach me how you do what you do, because they were seeing the success I was having. Like I'm able to launch my own courses that I'm passionate. This is one of my courses, the UOS. It's a course that I do. I'm passionate about. Able to launch my courses in 6 figures. Like these are 6-figure launches when I do my courses. I've been able to partner with industry leaders like Tony Robbins and Russell Brunson and Dean Graziosi to help them launch their products, not just to work with them and coach them, but to help them launch their products. I've had opportunity to get on stages with some of the greats, like Joseph McClendon III. If you've ever been to a Tony Robbins event, he MCs every single Tony Robbins event. Joseph JM3 is brilliant. But I've been on stage with him, Les Brown and more. And I need to tell you something. I got on stage with them not because I'm good. I suck. When it comes to getting on stages, I absolutely sucked. I've got better. I absolutely sucked. They didn't bring me on because I was good. They brought me on because my list was huge. They brought me on because I could put more butts in the seats than Joseph McClendon himself, than Les Brown. That's why they had me on their stages, because they wanted me to be able to put butts in their seats to, fill their events. That's why. It's all because of the list. And it wasn't always that way. Literally 4 years ago, this is one of the mastermind classes I did. I could not get 3 people on a free mastermind. Free. It was a great course. Could not get 3 people on a mastermind course. It is, so I've been there. I know what it is to not be able to get the traction that you want for the things that you are trying to push forward. And in the past year, I've been able to, help other people start growing their list. And that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. It's becoming another passion of mine, because it gets people past their own beliefs and it gets people, doing what they want to do and what they're passionate about. Now, I couldn't sell anything to anybody. But that's what this list has done for me. And the reason I couldn't sell anything there, the reason I couldn't get anybody in there is because I had 0 people on my list and, had no way of getting traction, getting people to see it. I would post on social media. I would do various things, but nothing ever got traction to get people in. And all of the success that I've had, all of this has come specifically because of the list that I built. Not because my course is fantastic. Not because I'm a great public speaker, not because it's because of my list. My list has given me not only my reoccurring revenue, but it has also given me the authority to do the things that I want to do to push my message forward. So again, building a list, I'm telling you, will be the biggest asset for your business that you can imagine. Now, my journey to build my list started back, I want to say like a little before 2018, but let's say 2018. Because I was ready to, again, I came to the knowledge that, hey, what I did was not, it was not luck. And I can scream at the top of the world, hey, you can do whatever you want to do. So I was ready to share my knowledge, my expertise through the coaching that I was doing, through the online courses that I was trying to develop. And looking back now, I kind of feel kind of ignorant in a way. So I did all these things and I'm not sure, but, I thought just having a great product was enough. Build it and they will come. And, I now call that, this is called the Field of Dreams marketing strategy. You just build it and you hope like hell that they come. Let me tell you, it doesn't work. I tried it. It doesn't work. And, boy, was I wrong. How many in here have tried to do a course or tried to do something and you just thought you build it and you know what? People are just going to magically find it and they're actually going to, come to my event or come to my course. Most of us have done something like that. I think a lot of you might be here because of that. It's like, that just does not work. And I was so wrong. And here's the thing. I had put my heart and my soul into creating what I believed was a perfect workshop for personal development. The content was solid. The presentation was amazing. And I was convinced people would just be lining up to buy it. I was convinced it was so good that people would just line up to buy it. After all, I had real world experience. I had, built and sold a company. I had success. What could go wrong? Everything as it turns out. And here's the thing. I did what most people do. I threw money at ad advertising. How many people have done that where you just had something, I'll just throw money at ad advertising. I did Facebook ads. I did Google ads. I did social media posts and boosts. You name it, I did it. And the numbers still kind of make me wince a little bit. Although I learned a lot from it. I spent over $20,000 in ads alone on Facebook. This is just Facebook and Meta. So Facebook and Instagram ads alone, $20,000. Now, I hope my wife's not on, so she doesn't know, but I spent $20,000 on ads. She didn't know about that because my target was cold. The people that I was doing ads to were complete strangers. They had never heard of me. All they're doing is they're seeing an ad from a workshop of someone they do not know, they do not trust. And guess what the results were from that $20,000? Take a wild guess. Put in the chat what you think I might have sold $20,000 worth of ads. You are a genius. And you are absolutely right. Ding, ding, ding. You win. Zero. Well, I say, I think I had like $500 in sales, but it was friends and family but nothing from the ads. So I spent all of that money. And yes, it was a good learning curve. I mean, I learned a lot, but I got zero from that. And that was a wake up call that there had to be another way. Because you look out and you see people that are successful. You see people that are doing what you want to do. And you're like, okay, I've done the ad. Like they know something that I don't know. They're doing something that I'm not doing. So I knew I had to do something different. And sometimes when we have ideas, it is as light as a feather. We just get tapped on the forehead with a feather. Boop, I've got an idea and I go and I take action, right? With these ideas, I'm going to take action. But for me, more times than not, I need a damn 2x4 across my forehead and normally 6, 7, 8, 12 times before I actually pay attention to what the universe is trying to tell me and say, hey, Sean, you need to go do this. This is something you should probably, a direction you might want to go, Sean. And all at the same time, so I started having all these things come in at the same time, all these 2x4s against my forehead saying, hey, Sean, hey, dummy, pay attention, pay attention. And I remember at this conference right here. So this was one of my mentors, that I look up to and work with still to this day, Mike Kim. And he's telling me, Sean, build your list. The money is in the list. And I'm thinking, what the hell is a list? What are you talking about? Build a list. I didn't know what he was talking about. And then soon after that, I was actually driving in my car while I was driving, and I had my wife and her best friend in there and her husband. And we were going to get scuba certified. We were going to go on a trip and we're getting scuba certified. So it was about 2 hours away and they were listening. They had joined an MLM, multi-level marketing company, and the company required them to do some training and listen to some things. So we were hostages in there and I had to listen to their training. And the trainer actually said something. He said, your Rolodex is your company. Now, this dates me a little bit, but he said, your Rolodex is your company. In modern terms, that is your email list, your connection. That is your company. Your products, they're not your company. Your services, they're not your company. Those can change. Your list, your connections, your relationships, that is your company, period. And so after getting these 2x4s across my forehead over and over again, I became, I had the critical realization. I all of a sudden had this bright idea that, hey, I needed to completely transform things and I need to build my own platform and not rent space from someone else. I realized to stop trying to sell all of my courses and all my stuff on social media, playing the social media game and the ads and, playing the algorithms like a day trader on Wall Street. Social media platforms are literally like digital landlords. They are a digital landlord. And let me tell you, they can and they will up your rent at any time. And they can and will evict you without notice. They do it all the time. I've seen it. I've seen people with 1 million followers gone in an instant. The carefully, built followers that you have, gone in an instant. The TikTok, just this last week, think about TikTok. And again, yes, it came back, but these will go away. And if you don't have a plan to pull those people off social media onto your list, they're going to disappear. So here's a number one thing. Pull people from your social media, get them onto your list. First, the only thing you should be doing with social media is trying to get them on your list. That's it. They have the ability to engage, throttle all of your engagements at a whim. Your content is buried unless you pay to play. And let me tell you, if you have anything on social media where you're trying to either pull eyes off their platform or make money, they know exactly what you're doing and people are not going to see it unless you pay them. That's their business, right? They're not just going to let you put stuff up there and show it to everybody so you can go make a ton of money. That's why it's so hard to do things on social media. And I learned the lesson the hard way. But once I grew my list, realized just how powerful it was. Your email list isn't just another channel. It's your own kingdom. It's your own house. You own that. With an email list, you are not begging for attention in a crowded halls of social media. You're not in there. You're inviting people directly into your home where you make the rules. This is your house, right? This is you. You own this. And, when you send out an email, when you put out a post, chances are less than 1% of your followers actually see it. And if it's something to call to action, do even less than that. But when you send an email, it lands directly in your subscribers' inbox. Directly. There's no algorithm. There's no middleman. There's no uncertainty. Just a direct line to the person who has chosen to hear from you. How powerful is that? You have direct access to someone who has chosen to hear from you. And here's what makes this so incredible. So this is general email marketing. So this isn't just for, an engaged list, which is even higher. This is just general email marketing. In the marketing world, an email list typically generates about $1 per month per subscriber. And again, an engaged list, even more. But think about that for a moment. If you want to build a 6-figure business, recurring business, if you want a 6-figure you want to do $120,000 a year recurring, build your list of 10,000 people. How much would you build? How much would you pay for a brick and mortar company to make 120,000? Right. So if you build it 10,000 people, on average, you will make 10,000 a month. It might be 30,000 during a launch month and then slower, but on average, it's $1 per person per month. And building to 10,000 subscribers, that's kind of your build to the summit. But once you get to your level, it's much easier to maintain. The hard part isn't, staying at that level, whatever it is, 10,000, 100,000, whatever it is you're comfortable with, whatever it is that you want to get to. It's not hard staying there. It's getting there that takes the time. It takes the dedication. That takes the work. That's why this isn't a get rich quick. You can absolutely build it, and it's not as hard as you think, but you've still got to do it. It's something that you've got to do. You can't buy it. Don't buy email lists, by the way. I don't go into that, but don't do that. It doesn't work. It's not good all the way around. I know people who go and buy lists, and it's like, that's not the way to do it. And it does not work very well. So again, I set my first, big milestone to 10,000 subscribers. Set your first, 500 subscribers, set it to 1,000 subscribers, set it to 10,000, whatever it is, set your target. Because if you don't set it, you're never going to hit it. But because I knew that it was the foundation of a sustainable 6-figure business, that's why I kept on it. That's why I did it. So when you build your list, you're building the foundation. Think about that as a foundation. You're building the base of your business that you can ride on over and over and over again. So it's not, again, when you build it to let's 10,000 people, it's recurring. It's not just 10,000 and that's 120,000 in revenue. Got to build another 10,000. No, on average, a 10,000 list does basically $10,000 per month in revenue. So think about that. And this isn't about just building a list. It's about building your future on a ground that you own and you don't rent. That's what's so important. That list you own. Those followers on social media, you don't own them. You can't contact them. You have no way to get to those people without going through and paying the social media. So the platforms, and the big marketing companies, all those platforms, they want you to think that that's the only way you can do it. You've got to buy you got to buy ads, and you got to boost your stuff. That's the only way to do it. That's their rules, and you don't have to play by those. They don't want you to have direct access to your followers. Pretty clear, right? I mean, it goes against their whole business model for you to have direct access to your followers. So that's why they don't do that. So building your list, you have that direct access to your followers. So today I'm going to share with you 3 key secrets, and I call these must-dos that you start to build your list the right way. this is where the training starts. So these are things that you must do in order to have a good list, to have and build it the right way. Now, there is no way that we can cover all of this. It gets deep, but there's no way we can cover all this in just an hour. But if you implement just what we talk about, you can absolutely start to build your list today. Absolutely start to build today if you do what we talk about. And again, I'll do a Q&A at the end, so write down any questions that you have, and we'll make sure to stay. I'll stay as long as people are on. So I'm no time constraint. I will stay however long you want. So here it is. The secret number 1, attract the right subscribers. All of these are the biggest things. So this is the biggest thing you need to know. You need to attract the right subscribers to your list. If you aren't building a list with the right people that match your perfect customer avatar, if you're building a list of 10K people who love golf and you teach and promote swimming, not going to do you much good, right? It's not going to do you much good to have a whole bunch of golfers if you teach swimming, right? So you want to build your list with the right people that resonate with what you do. I worked with someone who built a huge list by posting memes on social media. They built a huge, huge following and a large list, and he can't figure out why he can't monetize his coaching business. He's got a huge list. I'm like, well, you might want to start selling how to meme courses. That might be able to sell that, but you can't sell your coaching if they're following you because of memes. Because you're doing it. So build your list according to who would buy your product, right? And secret number 2 is consistent engagement. This is the lifeblood of any profitable email list. You have to be consistent, adding value and engaging with your audience. And number 3, anybody, I don't care who you are, anybody can succeed at list building. I don't care if you think you're too small. That's BS. I don't care if you don't have the tech skills. It doesn't matter. Anybody can build a list. And anybody can do this. All right. Are we ready to dive in? So here's secret 1 in detail. We're going to go down into these in detail a little bit. Secret 1 is huge, and it is the core of everything that you're going to need to have be successful at growing your list in the right way. Secret 1 is all about the how. This is the blueprint of what you follow to create that list, to build that list, and the actual system and methods that you use to attract and grow your email list. This is, you follow this, you can build your list. And most people think that a big list means burning piles of cash on ads or, spamming links everywhere. It's like, you see those things, you're in something and someone comments on your post with a spam. Hey, come here for this. It's like, don't do that. It doesn't work. It's not that. And trust me, that's not how I went from, 0 subscribers to 180,000 subscribers. I didn't spam. That's not how you do it. And here's the actual blueprint, and I call it the leads framework. And this isn't just theory. It's built on real world mistakes that I have made, sometimes multiple times, hard-won victories. And I'm here to help you skip all the crap that I had to go through and the learning curve I had to go through to do this, to build this. So hopefully this will, save you years of heartache. So let's get into the leads framework. And the first one is L, which means learn your audience. Number 1, learn your audience. Focus on learning how to identify your target audience. And you must know exactly who you're wanting to attract before you can start the strategies to get them on your community, right? We talked about building with the wrong people does you no good. And at the beginning, remember I told you I'd give you a bonus. It's the AI prompt you can point to any program, website, whatever it is, and it will give you a extremely good, both male and female avatar of exactly who would be buying your product. And let me tell you, AI is pretty damn smart. It is pretty smart. So when you do this, it's going to give you, it knows the people who would be the ones buying it. So again, extremely, and this alone for marketing or for list building can save you thousands. Just this prompt I'm giving you could literally save you thousands in marketing and ad costs and everything else. So knowing exactly who's the perfect buyer, what they do, where they hang out, what their pain points are. That's the biggest thing. You got to know what their pain points are, because how you get them on your list is you fix those pains. You fix those problems. That's how you get them on your list. And we'll go through that. But it'll give you a huge head start on building your list, building it in the right way with people that actually align with you. So L is learn your audience. Up next is E, entice with lead magnets. Entice with lead magnets. Focus on creating irresistible lead magnets that convert people to engaged subscribers. And for those, I'll be talking some technical jargon. I'll try to not do that. But so a lead magnet basically is just something that you have or something that you do that's big, that solves a big enough problem for your potential client that they're willing to exchange their email address for that. It doesn't have to solve world hunger. It doesn't have to solve every problem that they have. It has to be solve a big enough problem for them that they will exchange their email address for what you have to offer. And your lead magnets, they are the cornerstone of you building your list. The list efforts is all based on lead magnet. And here's the thing, understanding how to identify your target audience pain points, that's where that prompt comes in. When you can identify their pain points and then you match up something that you do or something that you have with a lead magnet, that's a perfect lead magnet. Solving an easy problem for someone that is a potential customer. That's what it's all about. Whether it is an ebook or a checklist or a webinar or a quiz, it doesn't matter what it is. If it solves a problem for them, they're willing to give up their email address for. Has everyone got that? So how important those lead magnets are? All right. So the next thing is you've got this great lead magnet, but how do you do things? Well, you need to attract them with effective hooks. So attract with effective hooks. It is imperative that you craft and learn to craft effective lead hooks. This is part of the part that makes people actually stop, grabs their attention, slaps them in the face, stops them from scrolling and says, hey, I need to take a look at this. Whether it's an email, whether it's a post, whatever it is, the hook needs to just grab them and slap them and make them stop. And it's not about some dumb viral hook or doing anything gimmicky. It's way simpler and a lot less dumb. But I teach 14 different types of lead hooks to use. But there are 3 that are basically the best types for what I call free lead magnets. Because you use a lead hook for whether you're selling something or whether you're doing something for free, you're still getting someone there, right? So the 3 best for free lead magnets, number 1 is problem-solving hooks. So that's a type of hook that you can do, a problem-solving hook. For example, struggling with email open rates. Here's how you can double them in 1 week. So that is a hook, right? That is a problem solution hook, right? Next one could be a controversial hook. Those are great as well. For example, I'm talking about not running ads and doing this stuff. I could have one that says, stop running ads. That will stop people in their tracks and say, oh, what do you mean stop running ads? I'm going to go look at this, right? It's a lead hook. 3, curiosity hooks are fantastic for a lead magnet. Example would be, the one thing you're doing wrong that's costing you thousands. I'm going to stop on that. And I'm going to say, what's that one thing? Am I doing that one thing that's costing me thousands? So those are lead hooks. Those are the hooks. So you got to be very good on doing hooks. And that's just 3. I teach 14 different types of lead hooks. But you need to understand what the hook is and why it's so important. And again, if you're at the grocery store and you're going to get checked out and you have those magazines going down the side, you're walking through and all of a sudden you turn your head and you're like, ooh, you just got hooked. That is a hook. That is exactly what you're trying to do. You're trying to be that magazine that when people walk by, they look at it and say, crap, I've got to open that magazine up. Who got so-and-so pregnant? Obviously that's, unless you're doing something in that, you want to use that one. It's got to be, the hook's got to be in alignment with what you do, but you understand. So creating hooks that resonate with your target audience is key to getting people to stop and pay attention to what you do. All right. Next is D, design high converting landing pages. High converting landing pages is where the magic actually happens. This is where the visitor actually turns into a subscriber. This is where they actually put in their address, their email address. This is actually where they go to look at your lead magnet is going to be on your landing page, right? Or on your high converting landing page. And there are essential elements that every high converting landing page should have to maximize conversions. You'll start to notice things like, okay, I got 20 people to go to the page and I only had 3 people sign up. Well, that means it's not a high converting landing page, right? So you can, as you track things, you can see how well things are doing. To me, a high converting landing page doesn't necessarily mean it's got great stuff on there. It's just converting well. So for instance, if you look, you're going to have a landing page, whether you're selling something or whether you have a free lead magnet. You still take them to a page and it's still a landing page, right? When you're doing free stuff, you want to make it as easy as possible for someone to say yes. You don't want a page full of 95 different things links to your Facebook, links to this, go here for this. You want one single call to action. They shouldn't even really have to scroll for something free. It should be in their face. Yes, I want that. Go. You're not trying to get, you're not trying to get them on your social. You're not trying to do all these things. One call to action. That makes a very effective, landing page for free stuff. Now, if you have a $20,000 coaching program, you better have more stuff on there than just the sign up form, right? So it depends on what you're doing, but for a free lead magnet, simple. Again, you want it to be as easy for your customer to say yes to. All right. And finally, we have S, which is send traffic. And there's many strategies to effectively drive traffic to your lead magnets. We talk about some of them. But after all, you could have the best lead magnet in the world that will solve an incredible problem for someone. And you can be on the highest converting landing page, 100% conversions. Anybody that goes there converts it. But if you don't get anybody there, you still get 0 conversions, right? You still get 0 people on your list. And there's many ways that we talk about doing this, from organic free stuff to paid ads for free stuff. I teach a lot of stuff on that. But my first 15,000 people on my list, back in, I think around 2019, was almost all from what I called my Starbucks ad strategy. So for 2 years, I still run it because I feel guilty, that I don't run it. But I still run that. $5 a day. Instead of buying a Starbucks coffee, I run $5 worth of ads on, primarily Meta, every day, $5. And you get good at it. So even just $5 a day, which is not a big investment, and it's a good way to learn and to grow, because you'll notice when some things are working, some aren't, you can change it and you haven't lost your shirt on it. But $5 a day, I can get 25, 50 people on my list every day just from $5 a day. Just from $5 a day in ads, I can get that many people on my list that are in alignment with exactly who I need to be on my list. And that is so key. So you've got to be able to send people to there effectively in order to grow your list. And like I said, I've spent hundreds of thousands on Mastermind Group and taking marketing courses and trial and errors. I've never stopped. Matter of fact, last week I was on an 8-day cruise with 400, almost 500 marketers. Oh, that is, I hope you saw my eyes roll, because that was stuff. But I never stopped learning. Even to this day, I never stopped learning. I never stopped meeting the people. I never stopped doing things to try getting a little bit better and a little bit better. Again, I wasted $20,000 on a single workshop that made nothing. It was a disaster. But once I switched to using free lead magnets to hook people into people on my list, nurtured them with a few emails a week, 1 email, 2 emails a week with valuable content, and then later inviting them to a paid workshop. That's the key. Later, inviting them to a paid workshop. It was a game changer. That's how I first really saw the power of what I call the leads framework. I learned my audience. I learned exactly who they were, and I didn't want people who weren't in alignment on my audience, on my list. I enticed them with kick-ass lead magnets, gave them great stuff, quizzes, mini guides. There's so many things you can do for a lead magnet. I used compelling hooks. And now with AI, holy cow, you can just do hooks left and right. I've got a prompt for that, but hooks are easy now. I designed great landing pages. Things that, again, I learned making them as easy as possible. I want my customer to burn 0 calories. Yes. If they've got to scroll and burn 50 calories just to get to say yes, they're not going to do it. Finally, found ways to send traffic, whether it's organically, whether it's, there's many ways that you can do it, but my $5 a day ad campaign, whatever it is, get people to there. And suddenly I was paying, right now I'm paying me anywhere between 30 cents per person on my list, if that, at most 30 to 50 cents, instead of burning hundreds and hundreds of dollars to try to sell somebody through an ad. And it's so much more efficient. And more importantly, these subscribers were eager to hear from me. And the magic is that once they've joined, via one of free things, whether, quiz, PDF, whatever it is, there's no friction. They get immediate value. You've got some value that's going to solve a problem. Now, you can't lie. It's got to be something that's actually going to help them move forward in whatever it is that they need to get forward in. And you get their email address. And then you consistently engage and add value they start to trust you. This is where what I call the art of list building comes in. This is the art. This is where you get them. This is where they start trusting, right? And why is this so important? So when you are ready to make an offer, they already know you. They already like you. They already trust you, and your conversion rate skyrocket. I can spend $100 in ads getting people on my list and sell way more than if I spent $100 trying to sell a product directly there. I hope that makes sense. Way more efficient, a little longer runway, but way more effective and way more cost effective. And, in the marketing world, there's called rule of 7. Has anybody ever heard of the rule of 7? The rule of 7 means that someone has to see at least 7 times in a pretty short span in order to know you enough to say yes to your offer. It is hard to do that with ads, with paid ads. Extremely hard and expensive to do that with paid ads, right? Here, you pass the rule of 7 in a couple of weeks. Shit, you're on the rule of 20, the rule of 30. You've already built that trust with them. And I want you to write this down. This is big. Now, matter of fact, I don't want you to just write this down. I want everybody to, I want you to type this in the chat. I want to see if everyone types it in the chat. Okay, you ready? This is big. 3, 2, are you guys ready? I'm watching you. I'm making sure that you type this stuff in. Okay, here we go. Free is profitable. What? Free is profitable? What the hell are you talking about, Sean? Free is profitable. I don't waste money on ads pushing paid product to strangers. I spend a fraction of the cost getting someone onto my list and then adding value to them, adding free value. Then my list is what drives my revenue. Okay, I want you to understand that my list is what drives my revenue. It's not the ads for selling stuff. It's the list. This is why most people get it wrong. They will pay massive amounts on ads to some of their stuff. And as I think it was Zig Ziglar said, that's a fast way to have skinny kids. You want skinny kids? Start running ads on Facebook and stuff to sell your product. Trust me, I spent $20,000. My kids were skinny for 6-7 months, right? You don't do that. So learning how free is possible and how free is profitable it helps you create consistent, predictable income online. The more value you add, the more you get back. It is an incredible thing, but the more value you add, the more you get back. All right. That's secret 1. Secret number 2, consistent engagement is the lifeblood of a profitable list. Read that again. Consistent engagement is the lifeblood of a profitable list. Build a community that can't wait to hear from you week after week after week. Most people think that once someone is subscribed on their list, the job is done and they can just go and randomly send them promotions to hawk crap that they have, right? Next month, I'm going to hawk this junk. Next month, the following month, I'm going to hawk this stuff. That, I can tell you, that is a huge mistake. That is not how you do it. In reality, if you're not regularly engaging your list, you're heading towards what I call invisible churn, where your subscribers become inactive. Messages go straight to the spam filters, or worse, they just mentally delete you before they even open it. Boom, you're gone. Sean, gone. I'm sure you have people on that send you email that you mentally deleted them out. Like, ding. So let me explain why ongoing engagement is the biggest secret. Remember I said secret number 1, the biggest? It's not. It's not. It's the biggest to get people on. This is the biggest to keep people on, right? This is the biggest secret, is that it transforms. This is how you create the revenue. This is the secret. Consistent engagement and adding value is the secret to a profitable list and what I call a healthy list. I learned the hard way that not engaging your list regularly can kill your list. It can kill your conversions. It will kill everything. Earlier in my journey, I think I got up to maybe 15, 20,000 people, which is a great list. A beautiful list. I built it. I was proud of it. Life got in the way for a few months, right? Shit happens. Life got in the way. I was developing new courses. We went on family vacations. One thing led to another. And it was like 8-9 weeks later, I sent stuff out. And type me if that's ever happened to you. I mean, if life gets busy, you stop doing stuff, right? You just forget about it. And it came time for my next launch. And I thought, well, I'll just email out the promotion. No biggie. It's only been, 8 weeks or whatever since of silence from me. When I did the promotion, I still expected the same sales I was getting. I still expected the same conversions that I was getting. And the results? Nope. They weren't there. My open rates were down considerably. My click-through rates, they call click-through rates, were virtually non-existent. And at the time, I mean, it was depressing. I felt like I had just wasted all of that time and all of that effort building this list, and now it's just gone. And that's when I realized that if you are not dating your list, i.e. you're not sending them consistent value, stories, insight, and real actual help, you lose them. You lose them. It's like you pop 2 months later and ask them to marry you. Like, they don't know who you are. You haven't talked to them in 2 months. You can't just come in and say, marry me or buy my product, right? You have to still, weekly, you have to stay involved with them, to get them, to keep them on your list, right? They have to, again, I call it dating. You have to date your list. You always have to add value and constant communication. Otherwise you will lose the list, and it'll be, then you have to go and you have to try to revive it. And I like to say is that you have to make deposits before you withdraw. I treat your list like a savings account. You have to put money in before you can take money out. In other words, you have to add value before you can ask for a sale. And you always have to deposit more than you withdraw. You can't put in $100 and expect to go withdraw 1,000, right? You always have to put in more than you withdraw. So treat it like a savings account. I made the point to deposit value into my community, what I call the trust bank, before ever making withdrawal. That is so key to having a good list that actually works and is actually profitable for you. And that changed once I started doing that. That literally changed everything. I grew, my list became active again. It took probably 2 months, but I got them back and they started getting active again. But you've got to make sure that you stay consistent in the engagement. So I built systems into what I was already doing to create engagement. This is what I want you to do. I want you to find ways that you can, stuff that you're already doing, build systems around it, because without the systems, you will forget. Life will happen, right? And there'll be times where you just don't send stuff out. So make systems. I have a client that kept their list engaged for, I want to say, a year and a half, 2 years, and stopped. And it was literally dead after they did that. So find ways of doing stuff that you're already doing and keep them engaged. So it's not extra work. So it's just part of the routine. As an example, I'm in season 6 of my podcast. The Thinking Big, by the way, it's a great podcast. If you want to go listen to a podcast, Thinking Big podcast. But anyways, I don't do my podcast to grow my list. I don't do my podcast to monetize. The only reason I do my podcast is to keep my list engaged. Every episode, whether it's with a great guest or whether it's a solo episode, it's everything I do on that episode is geared towards what my audience either needs or what they want to hear. And then I take that, I'm already doing it, so it's a podcast, and I feed that in as engagement to my list. That's the sole reason that I do the podcast. That's the only reason I do it. And again, it's to feed it. And that's why, so last year, the podcast hit top 20 entrepreneur podcast in 20 countries last year. Top 20 in 20 countries. No, excuse me, it was in 52 countries. Huge. It's not because it's a great podcast. I mean, sure, it's the best podcast you've ever listened to. It's not because it's a great podcast. It's because I'm using it to feed my list, and my list is going in and churning. It's like it's like a vicious circle. I put stuff in, they go listen, put stuff in, they go listen. And that's automatic. I don't do anything. I'm not going to create extra content just to feed to my list. So find things that you're already doing to feed your list. With AI, you can virtually do this automatic. As an example, I'm doing this right now. I'm doing this masterclass with you right now, right? I could literally take the transcript of this, put it in ChatGPT and say, hey, write me a 24 email sequence based on this. It'll sit there and write 24 emails that I could go put in my system. I can go take 24, I can take a month off and it'll just sit there and send stuff out to my list. So do things, the things that you're already doing, capture those as a way to keep your list engaged. Because those are the things that your list wants to hear. ChatGPT just announced this week, its ability to do tasks. You could literally tell ChatGPT, hey, every morning, go to my feed, my Instagram or my Facebook, and write a quick story about stuff I put in there. It will literally send you an email every single morning, of an email that you can just put in your system and send out. You don't have to do anything. It's like, so keeping your list engaged nowadays, 3 years ago, that was a hard thing to do. Now it should be very easy for you to keep your list engaged, but you have to keep it engaged. So here are some tips on keeping your list engaged. Consistency is key. We've talked about that. You have to be consistent. If you do an email a week, do an email a week. If you do 2 a week, do 2 a week. But don't flip flop and change things around. Value first mindset. Don't just email when you want to sell something. Provide, behind the scenes stuff, success stories, whatever it is. A value first mindset. Number 3 is personalization. We didn't talk about this much, but segment your list so you're sending the correct things to the. It's like if you have for me, it's like I've got my coaching business, and then I've got some of this list building stuff. I don't necessarily cross those, so I know who is who. So when I send out email list stuff, it goes to those people. If I send out coaching stuff, it goes to those people. So personalize the stuff going out so it goes to the relevant people. Conversational and call to actions. Use friendly conversational style to encourage replies. So any email you send to your list, you should always have a call to action. You want them to always be trained to have a call to action. It could be reply back with what you think. It could be go listen to the podcast. It's not to buy, but you should always have a call to action, and then reward engagement. Do things that will reward engagement, whether it's a free workshop or a webinar or something, but because they like it when your subscribers feel like you genuinely care about them, like you're showing up just for them with insightful and interesting things, your open rates will soar. Your engagements will go up and your trust will skyrocket. And so when you do a pitch, when you do something, they're already primed to say, yes, I want that. Yes, I want to do that. You've already built that trust with them. Now, when I do regular weekly emails, my open rate is anywhere between 50 and 65%, which if you do email marketing, that is a very high rate. I know people, I won't specify their name, they're big names, that usually get anywhere between 10 and 20% open rates. Why? They don't provide value all the time. They spam their list. They always ask for stuff. They always keep your list and make it to where you're adding value, and you will skyrocket. I can tell you this, if I skip a couple weeks, it's going to go down. To me, engagement isn't an option on your list. You put blood, sweat, and tears into building your list. Do not engage. Keep them engaged. So if you've ever felt like you're worried, so sometimes I get people that say, well, if I send an email to my list every week, I'm going to annoy the people and they're going to opt out. How many of you I'm going to opt out? I get an email every week. Subscribers don't get annoyed by that. If you're adding value and they know that it's value, they don't care. They like that. Here's the thing. I'll tell you exactly what subscribers don't like. They don't like being annoyed by useless promotions without zero relationship building. That will kill your list. That will get you opt-outs. If you haven't done anything and you send a spam thing, hey, buy my stickers, you're going to lose people off your list. They love valuable, consistent content. They love it. I'm telling you, you will not. And the people who do opt out, they're not your people, and that's fine. Don't take it personal. Like, we don't resonate with everybody, right? So don't take it personal if someone opts off your list. As long as you're adding value, it doesn't really matter. I mean, remember, building a list is only half the battle. Keeping the list engaged is what unlocks consistent, ongoing sales, because you will have nurtured a genuine connection. Remember, I said this is about relationship building. It's not just about lists. It's about building relationships. And that's why secret number 2, staying engaged, is a massive multiplier for everything else that we've covered. You can build the great list with secret 1, but if you don't keep them engaged, it doesn't do you as much good, right? It's the difference between having a list that's cold and unresponsive versus a list that cannot wait to hear you. All right. We're on to secret number 3. Oh, we are low on time. I will hurry up. I apologize. I start talking and I lose it. I just keep going. Okay. So secret number 3, anyone can succeed whether you feel you're too small or you don't have the tech skills. So now we're going to talk a little bit about maybe possibly some of your own BS, your belief systems, because I hear this stuff a lot. I hear things like, sure, a big time marketer can build an audience, but I can't do this. I don't have the tech skills to do this. It costs a fortune to build a list, or I don't have a product yet. And all of that is BS, because I'm here to tell you that none of that matters if you follow the steps that we talked about. If you follow the leads framework, the leads blueprint, it does not matter. You can do this even with zero or no tech skills at all. And until your email list gets to be a certain size, you don't even need to have a platform to go on. You've got all these platforms that we can talk about. You don't even need one until your list gets to be a certain size, or it gets to be too much. Like if you're getting 2 opt-ins a day, you can manually do things, right? You don't have to have a whole system to that. You don't have to have your logo done, color scheme done. For 2 emails a day, it's like, just start building it. You can put the systems on as you grow. And it's easy to move different platforms. So in other words, when you own your email list, it's yours. It doesn't belong to anybody but you. And if you move from doing it by yourself to moving it to a platform like ClickFunnels or Kajabi or MailChimp, you can move it anywhere you want. You can sit there and move it from platform to platform. You own those names. You own that email list. You can do whatever you want. So automate as you need it. You don't need that upfront. You don't need that day one. So the only thing that you really need is a basic landing page for your lead magnet. And you can actually do it even without that. But let's say the basic, page for your lead magnet that you put people on, you need just a simple automation to deliver the lead magnet. So they're going to come up, they're going to sign up for a quiz, or they're going to sign up for a download or something. You just have to have something to get that back to them. Again, you could be the automation. If you only get a couple of those, they register, you go to your email and you send them out the PDF of what they wanted to download, right? So you can be the automation for that. And then once they're on your list, consistent, authentic engagements, once they sign up, again, you've probably heard this before, but people buy from people they know, like, and trust. And you don't need to be a star. You don't need to be an Instagram star. You don't need to have fancy tech to do that. Authentic connection and a regular presence and solving a problem for them does the heavy lifting for you. That's what will do it. So look, if you consistently share something relevant, your audience will grow. Your audience will stay engaged if you consistently do that. And guess what? You can get better every day you're doing it, on your writing, on your hooks, on your landing pages. As you're growing, you get better and better at it, and your conversions go higher and higher. When I first started, it might have cost me $2 per person to get on my list. But as I got better and better at the lead magnets, at the hooks and stuff, it's down, again, 30 to 50 cents per person. So you get better at it as you do it, but it takes you doing it to actually get better at it. And then, again, consistent, authentic engagement. So I hope that you had a mind shift about what an email list is or what it can do. Put in the chat, and this is really for me, what has been your biggest aha moment from this? Like something you've learned. And this is for me. Is it how powerful a list really is? Is it, the revenue you can make on it? What were some of the biggest, your biggest aha moment? My list is my company. Yeah, that's a big one. List is my company. See if anybody else types in, and then we've got some questions here, so we'll get to those in a second. Because I know that when I started keep adding value, doesn't have to be complicated. Yes, I've had several mind shifts as I was doing this. I remember when I did the first event with Joseph McClendon III and Les Brown. It's like, that really shifted my mind on what a list could do besides just revenue. When I did my first product launch, that reached over 100, reached 6 figures on a product launch, it's like, that's really those mind shifts. It's, I thought this way beforehand. And now it's like, it can really do this and this. And that's what I hope this masterclass, has done for you. It's, I hope that it's given you at least a direction, an idea that if you do this, the things that are possible for you and the things that are potential for you. Yeah, my goal was to give you 3 secrets that you could use to actually start building your list. And we'll walk through the leads framework again real quick. Because again, engagement is king. So the leads framework, use the leads framework. Engagement is king, and anybody can do this. Building my list became, honestly, an obsession for a couple of years. 20,000, 50,000, and then 100,000. It's like it became an obsession. But everything I did was to grow my list. My friends joke, my hashtag is get on my list. Hashtag get on my list. Hashtag get on my list. Because when you're on my list, then I can dictate what I send to you. I can control what you see of mine. that nothing else can. So always you need to have the mindset of get on my list. So I wanted to make sure that you understood the leads framework, and that this literally could take you from where you are now to where you want to be with an engaged list, whether it's 500 people, whether it's 1,000 people. Again, the leads framework, learn your audience, entice with lead magnets, effective hooks, convert them with high converting landing pages, and send them send the art of sending people to it so you get the people. All right. So I can get to questions. So we'll do questions in a second. Before we get into questions, I'll let you start posting some questions on here. And then for those, while we're gathering the questions, Andrew, can you kind of pay attention to some of the questions, and we'll get to those in a second. Well, while we're putting in questions, for those that would like to dive into this much deeper, would like to go deeper into this, I'd like to show you how you can work with me directly, if that's okay. If you'd like to hear that. Okay. So we'll just go into that we'll try making that very quickly, and then we're going to get back to, Q&A for any questions that you have. Cause my goal is that you start building your list. Cause I'm telling you, once you do, you will see the power of it, and you will see that it can actually change the way that you run your company. So to work further, I'm extremely excited to introduce the full course. So I've got a full ultimate list building course. It goes much deeper into what we've talked about. Again, with an hour, it's hard to get to everything. You do have enough that you can start building your list with what we've gone through, but this goes much deeper into it on exactly how I've done what I've done. Inside that, you're going to have everything you need to attract your dream customer, creating irresistible lead magnets, building high converting funnels, nurturing your list with automated, email sequences, doing your monetization. How do you monetize? And if you're done the build it and they will come marketing approach, which is what I did for the Field of Dreams marketing. If you're ready to get past that and stop playing with, social media and their ad costs, this course is absolutely for you. It's as you can see, it's much, much more than what we could have gone through in here. And some of the things that are in this course, it's packed with a ton of resources. This is just an example of some of the stuff that's in here. These are what's called email swipe files. I'm not sure. So if you don't know what a swipe file is, you'll hear that in the industry saying someone's got a swipe file. That's basically just a file that's got emails in it. So in other words, this first one, lead magnet welcome email swipe file. That's basically just a template for a welcome email that you can copy and paste into your email system. So things like, the welcome email, which is huge. The perfect 6-hour email. So there's an email that you can send at 6 hours, which actually increases your likelihood that they stick around. So there's, again, many things you can do. Tons of campaigns, like indoctrination campaigns, the dating sequence templates, pre-webinar email sequence. So in other words, I've got all these things in here, these whole email sequences. So in other words, that pre-webinar email sequence, it might be 12 different emails. Email 1, email 2, and you just copy and paste those into your email system, send out when you're going to do a webinar or a product launch or, 4-day offer sequence, epiphany bridge story. There's tons and tons of email swipe files in there for you to, you can take them as they are, but I recommend that you take them and you look at them and you obviously adjust them for what you're doing, but they are extremely valuable for, knowing what to do. So you'll hear in the industry, you'll hear people say swipe files. That is what a swipe file is. It's just basically, there might be 20 emails in it. It says subject line, body, and you just copy those out and put them in your email. So it's got all of that in there. Again, that's just some of the stuff some of the resources that are in that course that we can't get to in here. Also going to get, if you get into the course, we're actually going to do where am I? Okay. So the course normally is $997. That's the price of the course. This was filmed. How many of you, I asked earlier, know John Maxwell? So this was filmed in John Maxwell's studio with Andrew. He's on here, Andrew Manzano. He owns that studio. This was done in the studio, that John uses. You also get a full year of, AI prompts. And this is really big because this is a full year of AI prompts for list building specifically. And this is just an example of the prompts. So this isn't all of them. This is just an example. But so the first one is the ultimate buyer persona prompt. I'm already giving you, Andrew, will you put in the chat the link to the prompt, the directory for the prompt? Okay. So what Andrew just posted right there, that's where that one AI prompt is for your customer avatars. Go get that. I think there's another one in there. Keep that link because I'm going to put some other stuff in there in the next day or two as well. So keep that link to that directory. Those are all in there. But anyways, this one right here is the ultimate persona prompt. This AI prompt will construct one of the most in-depth and crystal clear buyer personas on the planet. All based on whatever product or service you have. Again, you point it to a URL where your product is or to your website or a competitor's website, and the prompt will walk through every nook and cranny of your target market's mind, their motivations, their must-haves. And this is just an idea of what this one prompt will do. So it builds a buyer's persona table. It builds all their core emotions, ranks them top emotions driving the target persona's decision making scaled from 1 to 10. It does points, their frustrations, their limiting beliefs. It identifies their mental blocks. If you want to do marketing, like if you're going to market to someone or if you're going to build your list, this is absolutely this alone. I'm telling you, this AI prompt alone is worth way more than the course itself. What are their desires and their goals? Thought chains. So thought chains are what's called, it's think that they have to, a chain of events they have to walk through in their mind that leads them to a yes, I want to sign up, or yes, I want to purchase what you have. Sequence of beliefs. It maps out the sequence of beliefs your persona needs to adopt before they buy. So again, these are all marketing things, target exactly who you want on your list. And it also includes obviously the male and female avatar, but you already have that in that prompt that's there. It includes so another one of the prompts that don't know why it's doing, but another one of the prompts that it gives is a high powerful hook prompt. So you can point it towards anything that you want, whether it's a product. You can actually copy and paste an email in there. It's going to give you 70 different hooks for that content, whether it's a product, whether it's an email. So this is how you can do email subject lines, very good hooks for email subject line. It gives you 70, it gives you 5 of each of the different types. There's 14 different types of hooks that it goes through, and it gives you 5 of each one of those. So a total of like 70 different prompts for anything that you put in there. Again, problem solving, the problem solution hooks, example, struggling with low email rates. Here's how you can double them, right? So it's like, it goes through all these prompts, curiosity prompts. It goes through all the different prompts. And all the different prompts, the question hook prompt, the storytelling prompt, controversial hook. So there's all these different hooks that if you put in an email, you put in a product, it's going to give you things for the hooks. And again, everything that you send out should have a hook. Every email should be hook based. Every post in social media should be hook based, right? Because you're always trying to stop people from scrolling and to take a look at what you're doing. All of that is based on having a very good hook. And again, this is, it takes literally 10 seconds and you get 70 different hooks. So these are just some of the things that we put in. And here we go again. Okay. And then also what we're putting in this course. So besides, you've got the course, you've got the AI, all the AI stuff, and that'll be in there for, by the way, that AI stuff will be in there for a year, and I will update it all the time. So AI is changing constantly. So that prompt that's in there, one of the prompts that's in there today might be different in a month. So it will be live. It will be updated. We'll be adding things to it for an entire year. It'll stay updated on all those prompts, all those swipe files. All that stuff is going to be updated and kept in there. So you always have the latest and greatest on it. The next thing that we're doing for this course, because I truly want you to succeed. My goal is for you to succeed. And we're also doing 6 done with you live workshops. These are in person. I do these. These are not someone doing them for me. These are me doing these workshops, whether it's 60 minutes, 90 minutes, however long it takes to work with everybody that's on to get to where they want to go. I normally charge $1,000 per session for coaching. So one-on-one coaching is normally $1,000 for me. And this alone is worth, I would normally about $2,000 for a group coaching. 6 group coachings would be normally about $2,000. And so here's the list of it. So starting next Friday, we're going to go over AI and your customer persona. Again, that's the number one thing you need, is to know exactly who your audience is before you start building. So we're doing that the first done with you. then lead magnets, landing pages, email campaigns, how you work with campaigns, how you build campaigns, all of that. I'm going to be working directly with you. And then I've got the last two that are kind of open. So we'll see where everybody is that's in the program and what they need most help with. But we will do six of those, group coaching. And if you're not on, those are all recorded. So you'll have access to them, if you don't. And then you can also send in questions that, if we can answer, we will. And so you'll have it on the recording if you're not there live. So you get that, but you're basically getting, the ultimate list building course. You're getting the AI prompts. You're getting the done with you workshops. That's almost $4,000 worth of stuff. And if I want to ask you, before we get into that, I want to ask you a question. You just implemented the leads framework. Do you think that you could be successful at building your list? I mean, if you use this, do you believe in yourself that you could build a profitable and an engaged list? Yes, you can. And also, if you were to build a list of just 1,000 people, if you set a goal for 1,000, if you built just 1,000 people, that's literally less than 4 months ROI. Even at that full price of $3,900, that's less than 4 months of return on investment for your investment in it. But I'm not going to charge you $3,900, but that is truly what it's worth. The value of that is absolutely worth $3,900. And for people who do things, I like people who take action quickly. So people who sign up during, I think it's till midnight tonight. We're putting in some extra bonuses. This is so Andrew, Manzano is on right now. He is the owner of SoundTank. So again, part of what we teach you is to have a high converting landing page. There's certain things that help your conversion on a landing page. One of them is called a VSL, or a video sales letter. That's one of the things that you can put on, that enhances it. I get a lot of people like, I don't know how to record. I don't know how to do a VSL. I don't know how to do any of that stuff. This is a course that he normally sells for $197. Again, he owns a fantastic video studio. I mean, he knows Andrew, more than anybody, knows what he's talking about when he does this. This is a very easy course to go through on using your smartphone to be able to do effective VSLs. Again, this is something that will help you be more effective when you go to do like your landing pages. And also I think there's probably 35 already built like landing pages that you can just copy the graphics. Again, I want to make this as easy as possible for you to succeed. So you've got all of these templates for landing pages. As a matter of fact, if you have ClickFunnels, you can literally push a button and it'll actually build the whole landing page, and it'll actually build all of that out for you. If you're not on ClickFunnels, you can take the graphics and you can use, Canva, or you can use anything with the graphics. And it's just a good way to design landing pages that convert well. Again, you're trying to get as many people. You want as many people that visit. You want as many of those people to opt in. That's your goal. You want to get that conversion rate as high as you possibly can. So I think it's like 36, 37 templates, pre-built templates that you can actually use. And then also I get people that don't know how to, I get a lot of questions on, I don't know what, a webinar template, or I don't have these things. This is hundreds and hundreds of graphics and different packs like lead magnet mock-ups, Instagram profile planner, Instagram mock-up template, online course, social media. It's like, it has all of these mock-ups and all of these graphics in here to make it easier for you, again, for you to grow. Everything in here is to grow your list, to grow it fast, and to be effective at growing it. So you get all of that stuff. And the value of everything. Andrew called me last time and said, "What are you doing, Sean?" I'm like, well, this is the way I roll. The total value is $4,500 for that stuff. And we are, for this course, an ultimate graphics pack, it's $497, or I think it's like 3 payments of $197 for this entire course. The coaching alone, I'm telling you, that one prompt, that AI prompt for your customers, that is worth so much more. You can save thousands of dollars on marketing just for that one thing alone. So the whole thing is $497. It is I'm telling you, it is, and there's 30-day money back guarantee. If you send me